Welcome to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia and I am your host. Today is Monday, July the 6th, on the day that you're listening to this, and I am currently down in Orlando, wrapping up my Universal time on this day and heading over to Disney World for the Disney portion of my trip later tonight. This is the last episode of season 6. As a reminder, next Monday, July the 13th, will be an off week. I will be taking a break because there's no way I'm going to have time to edit everything that I need to edit. So I'm taking a break in between season 6 and season 7. So just be prepared for that. On today's episode, I am welcoming back Kelly from her bonus trip that she got to take with her wife Colby and her daughter Esme, who is 11. They were calling this a bonus trip because they have other big travel plans this summer, and they managed to get a really good deal on All Star Sports with Kelly's travel agent discount. And so they took advantage of that, headed down May the 16th through the 20th. They were planning to visit 3 of the 4 parks. The only one that they were not going to be visiting was the Magic Kingdom. They had some new things for themselves planned for this trip, including trying to hit up Nomad Lounge. They were going to be going to Wailulu for the first time on the recommendation of their good friend Pat, who has also been a previous guest on the show. They were going to be horseback riding at Fort Wilderness for the first time. So many fun things. Flower and Garden was still going on at this point, so they were going to take advantage of some of those booths. They were using Multipass Lightning Lane for a couple of the days, and obviously getting some individual Lightning Lanes for Guardians of the Galaxy and Flight of Passage. That should have you all caught up. So with no further delays, let's jump right in here and welcome back Kelly. Welcome back, Kelly.
Hey, Virginia. How are you?
I'm good. Kelly OG, I should say.
The Kelly OG. That's right. I forgot. You have another Kelly.
I have two more Kellys.
Two more Kellys.
3 Kellys total.
I'll try not to be hurt by it because I'm sure they're all amazing Kellys.
They are amazing. But you're the OG. You are the first. You're the only Kelly I've met in person.
Well, okay. See, we have that going for us.
Yeah.
That one of the pictures from that weekend actually just popped up on my little sliding frame. And I was like,
really?
That was such a fun weekend.
It was. I wish that we could do something like that again. I just feel like since that time, life has gotten crazy. And I don't know if you feel that way too.
I do. I mean, I can't believe, you and I have talked before that I think of my life in semesters working on a college campus, but the spring semester went by so fast, and now we're already approaching mid-June. I don't even know how that happened.
I know. And nearing the end of the school year, so trying to get all those last minute assignments done, at least for Alex, and getting ready for our own vacation. It just feels like everything is, I always equate it to sort of like being on a treadmill that doesn't stop. You just hop off for the night, go to sleep, and then when you get up, it's still going full speed again.
I can relate to that, yes.
You're wearing a shirt that I considered buying. It's an Orange Bird shirt for listeners who don't have the ability to see what she's wearing.
Yep.
It is so cute, and I wanted kind of to get it for myself, but I look terrible in orange, and it's just a little too much orange close to the face.
Well, I didn't think I looked good in orange, and maybe I don't, but
you look fine in orange.
I love these shirts that have the I'm pointing people can see this, but the collar is one color and the end of the sleeves is the other color.
What is that called?
I don't know, but this is now my 3rd Disney shirt that does this.
I think it's called a ringer tee. Is that right?
Oh, a ringer. Okay, ringer tee. I'll go with it. But so this is my 3rd Disney one, and when I saw this at the Flower Garden, I had to grab it.
Yeah, I was so tempted. I mean, I love Orange Bird. I think he's just the cutest little mascot ever.
I mean, he's so adorable.
I need something where Orange Bird is tiny and the majority of it is white or a different color. Because for me, I mean, listeners, it probably don't even care about this, but when I wear orange or yellow, it just makes my skin look so red. So I just can't do it. It's not one of my colors. But you look fine in it. The darker hair.
Well, thank you.
You look just fine.
The darker hair and the orange work.
I'll just have to live vicariously through you.
Yeah. So this was my merch purchase, and Esme bought me my merch perch, and now you're just making me laugh. And Esme also bought me a pair of Phantasmic ears. So those were the 2 things I walked away with. We could talk about Esme's millions of items later. But
Esme's a shopper, as we all know.
She is.
All right, let's dive right in. This was a fairly quick trip, which was May the 16th through the 20th, staying at All Star Sports. So let's talk your transportation down to Orlando. Southwest, how did they treat you this time?
Perfect flight. And yes, we did. We drove to the airport at like 2:30 in the morning. So we did it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it was very smooth. Actually, Esme and I decided to sleep on the couch because I was like, I can't even justify like really going to bed when I'm getting up in
Uh-huh.
hours. So Esme and I like fell asleep on the couch and we just got up at 2:30
Uh-huh.
and off we went with Col. Well, we woke up Colby. She was slept in an actual bedroom. But I think Esme and I were like, we're just gonna make this fun and we're
Yeah,
gonna
like a
fall
slumber
asleep down.
party.
Yeah, we're gonna fall asleep downstairs. Flight was perfect. We were in Orlando by like 8:15 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bonus of all of this is we really had a full day, which was
Yeah.
nice.
So going over to All Star Sports, how did you get over there? Because I didn't even write it down. Was it a
We
Lyft Uber situation?
Yeah, we took a lift. We were able to get one very easy. It was a smooth ride over there. And I think I was telling you this is the first time we've stayed at All Star Sport. Or
Mm-hmm.
sports, and we liked it. I think it was a nice value resort.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there were no like cheerleading competitions or large groups of athletes, but
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed our stay there.
I think it is a perfectly fine place to stay. And I had heard all these stories over the years, and I've now stayed there twice, both times in the tennis section. And I thought it was just perfectly lovely. I mean, the All Stars are very consistent in terms of like what you get in the room and the food court and all that. And this last time I went, I don't know if you saw the videos I posted, I was there during cheerleader time unexpectedly because I had no idea. Was not even thinking about that. And it was still fine. It was, it was an experience.
Yeah, I liked it, and we were in the surf section. We kind of
Okay.
had a perfect room location. We were in the building right alongside the pool, but we weren't on the pool side, so we didn't have
Mm-hmm.
kind of the noise from the pool. And we were pretty close to the tennis section. Like when I came out of my room,
Uh-huh.
I could see the tennis section. And Colby and I went on a couple of walks where we would like kind of go in and out of every section and
Oh.
take a look. And I mean, we did it with Esme as well too. But Colby and I were trying to keep up with our walking even after doing 25,000 steps a day. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why.
Wait, are
It's
you
not.
training for something?
No, but I am. I made a commitment to myself that I would work out 20 minutes a day for every day of 2026. And so far, I have done it.
Oh,
And so I made myself after the park still do 20 minutes of like quote unquote exercise. So
wow. Good for you.
yeah,
That's
normally I
amazing.
do like the Peloton or I do something else, but at Disney, what do we do but walk? So just
Right.
added more walking to everything.
Yeah. Wow. Well, good on you for doing that. Feel like I would come back and just be like wiped and be like, all the
There
walking today counted.
There was one night that it was pretty painful, but because I
Yeah.
wasn't tracking it on my app during the day, like that's how I
Mm-hmm.
keep my streak alive. But anyway, we don't have to get into that. But so walking upon walking, and so I thought it was a cute resort, and
Yeah.
I kind of thought it would be a one and done for us, but I would stay there again. Like,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
liked
mean,
it.
I would definitely stay there again purely because it's the lowest cost usually, and it's cute and clean, and it's on Disney property. I think next time I'll probably do movies because it's the only one I haven't stayed at yet.
I like movies too. That movies is, well, I think of Pop Century as different, but
Mm-hmm.
between music, movies, and sports, movies was what I thought was my favorite, but I really did like sports. And
Yeah.
I will tell you what I really liked about sports. I don't know why. I thought the bus system was going to be not hard to navigate, but just busy and frustrating. It
Mm-hmm.
was not. We had like bus magic the whole time we were there. It's
Yeah.
like we would get to the bus stop and it would show up and the
Yeah.
buses weren't crowded, and where it's located on property, there's no park that's a super super long ride.
Mm-hmm.
So I found the buses really easy to navigate there.
Yeah. Same. Same. And all the buses are fairly big that go there because they're prepared for the size of that resort. So
Right.
I
So
appreciate it as a very good value, literally and figuratively.
yeah, so
Pool time
kudos
first
to
of all?
them. Yeah, so for the very first day, we we were lucky. We got our rooms pretty early. I would say we were in our room by 10:30, but we had packed accordingly to be able to just go over to the pool. And so, yeah, we spent most of the day that Saturday by the pool, and then eventually went in, showered, and we headed over to the Polynesian for dinner.
Yes, at Pat's recommendation. So,
yeah,
did it live up to the hype?
It did. I had a burger, and I thought their Wayfinder burger was excellent.
I have not had the burger there.
Burger was good. Colby had some kind of like shrimp and garlic noodles, which she kind of said was fine. Like, you know, it was just like an average fine dinner. And Esme had some version of like grilled chicken or chicken fingers with French fries. And she was laughing because she felt like the French fries were like spread on the plate to make it look like there were more fries than there were. I personally didn't think it was a bad fry portion size, but Esme had some feelings about the way the French fries were spread on the plate.
It's an optical illusion. You had talked about maybe doing monorail hop. So did you do anything after this, or were you just exhausted from how little sleep you got?
Yeah, so we were exhausted. We did dinner at like a 4 p.m. reservation, and that was a very smart idea for us because 4 p.m. felt like 9 p.m. But we did, after we ate, we walked over to the Grand Floridian. We did they had a photographer over there doing like a photo shoot. So we did that because we had the memory maker. We kind of just walked around. Esme checked out the gift shop. And then we got on the monorail, went over to Magic Kingdom, and then just took the bus home from there. So we did not do a full loop.
All right. That brings us to Sunday, May the 17th, which is your first park day. And you were planning to rope drop. Presumably that felt a lot more doable after the early morning you had the day before, because it felt like sleeping in, I would imagine. How did that go?
Yeah, so we were in bed on Saturday night by like 9 p.m. So so we did wake up early on Sunday. We did Hollywood Studios. We rope dropped Rise of the Resistance, and it was amazing. Now, maybe you've been more recently than me, so maybe you have context on this, but the last time I went to Hollywood Studios and we did rope drop, they let us all in kind of, you know, where the water is, right? Is that Echo Lake? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where like the rope drop gate opened. But this time they let us get all the way kind of to Galaxy's Edge, and then let us go forward at rope drop time.
Interesting.
Which made the rope drop to Rise of the Resistance quite wonderful because we were like right there. Yeah. And then we pretty much walked right through Rise of the Resistance.
I can't remember the last time I rope dropped Galaxy's Edge is the only thing, because when I have been there for rope drop in recent times, I'm always heading towards Tower of Terror.
Yeah, and I think we've rope dropped Tower of Terror, so I can picture that in my head, but I do think we've rope dropped Rise of the Resistance before, and I don't remember being able to get that far back. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've tried to go in that direction. Usually we do a quick little Tower of Terror, and then we're like, all right, let's go find breakfast.
Yeah, and I think I've told you, Esme is a thrill ride seeker, and Tower of Terror is the only ride she just does not like. She's done it twice, and then she's also done Mission Breakout at Disneyland, and both of them. She's like, no thanks, I'm done.
Yeah.
And, you know, give her credit. She's tried it, and she's just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. To each their own, and maybe she will change her mind at some point. All right. I had notes that you had multipass Lightning Lane for Slinky, Toy Story Mania, and Star Tours. So you want to just walk me through your day?
Yeah, sure. So we did Rise of the Resistance, then we went right over to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So we did that, and we pretty much walked right on that as well. We spent a little bit of time kind of walking around Galaxy's Edge, and I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I have never met the Mandalorian and Grogu. Finally did. I was actually kind of a little bit away from Colby and Esme, and Colby was trying to call me. She's like, he's here, come back. You have to come back. So was able to get some pictures. Esme was able to take some pictures as well. And then we went over to Star Tours and probably did not need a multi-pass for Star Tours. The line was not that long, but you know, with the whole tiered system, you can only pick so many things in different categories. So that's what we ended up grabbing, which, you know, probably didn't help us all that much. But I liked that Star Tours has the new kind of movies and scenes. So we had something different than we'd seen before, which was nice.
Did you know, because I just found this out literally maybe yesterday or the day before, that there is a Grogu mode in Smuggler's Run?
No.
Did you know about Chewie mode, right?
Yes, I've heard about Chewie mode, but so there's Grogu
There's
as
now
well.
Grogu mode, and I saw a TikTok about it. And if I can find it, listeners, I will put a link to it in the show notes. But you do a particular combination. It has to be, I think, the gunners. The gunners do a particular hit this button, then the other person on the other side hits this button, and then Grogu is on the screen and it just like gurgling at you the whole time. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. We ended up going on Smuggler's Run for a second time. And I finally got to be something other than an engineer.
You had never been anything other than an engineer?
No, every time we get on it, I end up an engineer, and partly because letting Esme do what she wants to do, but
right.
Whenever we've gone on it. But this time I finally got to be a pilot. And
how did you do?
I don't think we did that great, but I'm not going to blame my co-pilot. But
was your co-pilot Colby?
No, my co-pilot was Esme.
Ah, okay.
So,
I will tell you, I avoid being pilot because it is too much pressure for me.
It's a lot of stress.
I can't handle it. I'm like, I just want to push a button. That's all I want to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fun. I think so. So that was a big accomplishment for us. But again, a difference is, they used to board it where kind of they would fill one family. Like if we're a family of 3 and we always end up often with another family of 3 on that ride. And it used to be that they would put one family on one side and the other family on the other side. But now it's kind of like they take the first family and they're like, what do you want? And they put them in the pilot row, and then you end up kind of filling in the rest. So Colby actually had to ask the second time we on. They were like, she's never been anything but an engineer before. Could she please be a pilot? So I was like, I felt like a child, but I was like, okay, thanks. Thanks for doing that for me.
That's amazing. I love it. Where did you go next?
So we did the Indiana Jones show, which I enjoy that show, even though I've seen it multiple times. I think it's a chance to sit and have a snack, and it's always a lot of energy and fun. It was very clear that there was a guy behind us that had clearly never seen the show before. And it was actually most interesting to watch him because he was like, I was almost going to like mirror what he was doing, but you can't tell. He was like kind of hands to his face. Like he looked so excited while he was watching the show. And he was like probably my age. He was like 45 years old.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I mean, that's the perfect age because we all watched, Indiana Jones growing up. That's part of my childhood is watching those movies when they first came out.
Yes, I know. They're all good movies. So so that was fun. And let's see, other highlights. We did do Toy Story Mania and Slinky Dog. It wasn't quite dark when we had done Slinky Dog, but the lights were on, which was fun. I thought that kind of made it nice.
Cool.
I'm bouncing around a little bit here, but we also did, I want to talk about, we did dinner at the Primetime Cafe.
Yes. And
that was fun.
This was not a first time for you, right?
I had done it in my 20s, and I didn't have a lot of memory of it. And Colby and Esme had not done it at all.
Okay. Did they give you a hard time about eating your vegetables and things like that?
So not really, partly because we were good and we did eat our vegetables. But I think that our server was maybe a little bit more tame than some of the other servers. Like there was a server working with the table next to us, and she made the guy get up and like serve waters to other tables because he had put his elbows on the table or something like that. So
I have something in my desk I can show you that I hold on to right here.
I hope it's your Clean Plate Club sticker.
It is.
Yes. yes. Nice.
So we like to have it on hand, and then every once in a while we grab it out of the desk and we slide it across the table to each other here in our household if somebody does an especially good job on their plate.
Oh, that's lovely.
I like a running gag.
Yeah, no, it's good. And, I thought the food was decent. Esme did the fried chicken, which was like the biggest plate of fried chicken I've ever seen in my life, but she was happy. Colby eats more vegetarian, so she did some kind of pasta dish that had chickpeas, but she liked it. And then I did do the like mom's favorite recipes. So the meatloaf, the pot roast, and the fried chicken, and I thought it was good. And
what was your favorite of the 3?
Surprisingly, I thought the meatloaf was really good.
Oh, okay.
But I also really like the pot roast, and I also really like the fried chicken.
Yeah. I love that pot roast, and I remember the meatloaf being pretty. I'm not a fried chicken person
Oh,
because
really? Because we should talk about that. Because
well,
chicken is so delicious.
yeah, I'm weird about meat on a bone.
Oh,
I don't love it.
so is Colby. Colby doesn't like meat on a bone.
If I went to a dinner party and they were serving meat on a bone, I would eat it, and the person hosting would never know. I'm not like that. I will, not
until
cause
they
a
listen
fuss.
to your podcast, and
until they do. Yes.
and then they'd be like, "Oh man."
But if I ever have a choice, I opt not to do it. It reminds me of what I'm eating. And a lot of times I am not a vegetarian, but I will opt for a lot of vegetarian dishes just because I like vegetables and stuff. But I also like meat. But, I'm not somebody who would eat steak every day. Every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, I'd really like a steak, but not very often. So, yeah. So I would never get the 3 just because I'm like, there's one thing here. I'm not going to eat it all.
It's fair. Yeah. So, but it was good. It was a nice meal. And we did opt to not do Phantasmic. I think just we were feeling tired and we kind of left it up to Esme, and she kind of was like, I'd rather go back and swim for a little bit before bed. And I was like, that's fair. We've been walking around we've been here since, 8:00 this morning. That's fair. So we probably headed back around 8:00 at night. So a good 12-hour day. And did, of course, go into every gift shop that exists.
On your way out?
Studios.
Or just periodically throughout the day?
Periodically through the day, but then we had to hit the way out strip. Yeah. Everything again. So
I feel like that's a given. I mean, if there's one you're walking past anyway, just one more spin through.
One more jump through, right? So she I don't think she bought these at Hollywood Studios. I think she bought them the day before, but she did end up buying a purple lounge fly that she really likes, and then these yellow ears that were cute, and the two together were very cute. So those were her. She bought some other things here and there, but those were her 2 big purchases.
Was the purple loungefly themed to any particular character? Like, was it a Rapunzel thing?
No, I think it was actually pretty plain.
Huh. Okay.
But you know what? This is where my attention to detail is not great. Like, Esme could come in here and be like, no, it was Rapunzel. And I just didn't know.
Is this her first loungefly?
She has a Chippendale loungefly as well. So, so second.
The beginning of a collection.
Yes. And I have mixed feelings about this because I do like the loungeflies, but I also know it's probably going to sit in a closet until the next time we go to Disney. So
love the way they look. I just don't think they have enough room for the things I want to carry with me, but they're so cute. Like, I really want one, but I don't think I would use it.
Yeah. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And, Esme can use her loungefly because, mommy and mama carry most of her stuff for her.
I was about to say, as the kid, she's got someone toting the things that are not that fun to carry, like sunscreen and fans and bottled water.
Yep, like she's putting her couple of things in there and is as happy as can be.
Yeah. All right, Monday, May the 18th, it was on to Esme's favorite park, Animal Kingdom.
Right, and we did rope drop her favorite attraction, which is Flight of Passage. And so that's how we started off. And then we headed over to the safari and basically walked right onto the safari because we had a multi-pass. I think the animals were pretty active, so that was nice. We actually saw, the lions are always just like laying on that rock.
Yes.
And we did briefly see one stand up and then lay back down again. But in general, whenever you go earlier in the morning before it gets too hot, they're often roaming around. So we always try to get there pretty early. We did have a crisis on our way, a food crisis on our way to the safari, because all of a sudden Colby and Esme decided they were starving and must eat. And mostly what we were walking by were pastries. And they were like, no, like I want like food. And I was like, well, we did not plan this well because most of what's around there is kind of like the different pastry things. Right. And then after we got off the safari, we realized there was a place that had like breakfast, like
a
tacho. It was more like kind of like tacho bowls, like the potato barrels and eggs.
Yeah.
But we totally missed that though.
Where was that? Because I don't think I've ever noticed.
That's right. But I don't think they call them tachos, but it was right before the safari, like on the left. If you're walking.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you walk by
Yes.
Tusker House and then the next place right over there.
Yes,
But
I have been in that line before. I cannot think what it is called before, but
yeah, but I
yeah.
don't know like if your family gets like this, but like I have lots of vivid memories of the moments that Colby and Esme are hangry because they both Colby and Esme go from like 0 to 60 when they decide they're hungry. It's like we'll just be having a good time, and all of a sudden it's like must eat now.
Yeah, Charles and Alex have pretty big appetites, and they will get hungry very suddenly and like we need to stop, but they don't tend to get hangry. I would say I'm the one who gets hangry.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but I can recognize it in myself and remedy it.
Yeah, my two can as well. It's just until we get the food. It's like everybody's tense. It's like, but anyway, so they're gonna love that I talked about this. So let's see other highlights from Animal Kingdom. So we did finally go to Nomad Lounge,
Yes.
which was fun. We the downside though that we did is we went and put ourselves what we thought we were going to put ourselves on the list, and they basically were like, "We'll come right in right now," and it was like a little bit earlier than I think we normally would have wanted to be sitting in there, but it was a nice place to we were on the outside and just to have a drink. We ordered some chicken wings with the sauce on the side because Esme likes everything plain, but it was a nice place to sit for a while and just kind of cool off, relax. So that was good.
Do you remember what you got to drink from Nomad?
So I ended up getting something that was non-alcoholic, and it had a lot of ginger in it.
Okay.
But it was good. Colby got something that was alcoholic. I think it probably had some tequila in it because Colby's a tequila person.
But did you like your drinks?
I did like my drink. It was good. I also had a great drink at Wailulu.
Yes. Okay.
Those are good drinks over there. Have you had drinks? Have you had drinks there?
I know I had some when I was there, but I can't. I would say nothing that stood out to me as being like, oh, I'm going to come back for this.
Yeah, mine was really good. It was like bright green, which I didn't really expect, but it was very good.
Reminds me of this high C ectoplasm.
Took those in my lunch like every single day as like an elementary school kid. Ecto coolers, they were called.
Yes, that's what it was.
Coolers. So yeah, so we ate there, and then let's see, what else did we do? I mean, I love Animal Kingdom, but with whole air under construction, you can get through everything pretty quick now.
Yeah, for sure. Did you go back and do Everest?
I went on Everest 5 times
in a row.
3 times in a row, 5 times total.
Wow.
And
good for you.
Yes, so let's talk about this because something magical happened on Everest. I ended up in the front row. And have you ever been in the front row on Everest?
Yes.
It's amazing because when you get all the way to the top, you've got that beautiful view up there. I had never experienced this before. And then when you go backwards, you can see the track actually switch.
Yes.
And because when you're normally in Everest, the seats in front of you are pretty high, you really miss all that unless you're in the front.
I've pretty much sat, I would say, in every seat in Everest just because Alex makes me do it over and over again at rope drop. And I used to always request the back because I liked the back because it was more thrilling. But I have found as I'm getting older that if I just let them pick my seat, the randomness of where I'm sitting makes it better. If I constantly request the same seat over and over again, it makes me feel worse.
Oh, that makes sense. I can totally see that. Now let's talk about this. Have you been there since they changed the way they do single rider?
No.
Okay, so as many people know, like the single rider on Everest was like key because if you were willing to do it, you could pretty much get on very fast.
Right.
And that's because the way they used to load it was that basically any time, if you came in as a person of one, or like, no, better example would be like a family of 3, they would just take the single rider to round you out to 4. Well, now they take care of everybody in the main line first, and they try to round it out by everyone in the main line.
Oh, I think I heard this. So they have I think they split it, and so it's like odd and even. And if they take a group that's an odd number, then they just try to take another odd number.
Exactly. So I've done single rider before at Everest, and like it moved really quickly. And this time I did single rider my first time through, and I literally was at the front of the single rider line for probably like 4 or 5 trains that like left, because, they were managing to do it within the main line. And then, I'm sitting there and I was like, there's actually like really no line for Everest right now. So I went into the regular line and got through the regular line quicker than the single rider line.
Oh, wow. Including the walk through the line?
Including the walk through the line, 100%.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, and I'm going a little backwards here, but the reason I ended up over
Expedition Everest does.
Exactly. The reason I ended up back over at Everest is because Flight of Passage is Esme's favorite ride of all time. And I decided about midday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get an individual lightning lane for her and Colby to be able to go on again. Mm-hmm. And they went and did that. And then I went over to Everest while they were doing that and just like rode Everest until they were done.
Did you get your Yeti sundae?
I did get my Yeti sundae. The only downside is I got it when I got off of Everest and I was on my way to walk back to meet Colby and Esme. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to bring it over to Esme. Well, it was pretty warm. It was melting.
Sounds like Florida roulette.
This was an amateur move. Somebody who had just had the worst winter of New England in a long time forgot that things melt out in the sun. Uh-huh. So I got about like 2 minutes into my walk to Esme and I was like, clearly I have to start eating this. So basically by the time I got to Esme, it was half eaten. so that, but we still had our moment. Uh-huh, I said, Esme, look what I brought you, a melted Yeti sundae. But I didn't eat the candy at the top, so there you go. So once we met back up, we did the, what is it, Kali River? Is that call it?
Yes, yep, Kali River Rapids.
No, not that one. The other one, the Navi River.
Oh, journey. Navi River journey.
Esme refuses to go on Kali River Rapids because Esme doesn't like it to get wet. I think I talked about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like she'll go to a water park in her bathing suit. That's different. But like she does not want to be in her clothes.
It's different.
Yeah, so
only if it's super, super hot. And I know that I'll dry out really quickly after, because you never know what you're going to get with that ride. Sometimes you get soaked and sometimes you don't.
Right. Yeah. Yes, and I haven't gone on that ride probably since Esme was born because she just refuses to get on it. So,
okay.
So it's been a while. So other than that, we kind of finished this day. I mean, we were still there until about 5 o'clock.
Which is nearly to park close.
Which is nearly close. But, and we didn't do any like sit down restaurants besides sitting at Nomads for a little while. Mostly we kind of just snacked along the way.
Well, I think that's the way to do it at Animal Kingdom. There's so many good things to eat.
There are.
You just got to snack your way around the park.
Exactly. So that's what we did. And we headed back again. And once again, Esme ended up in the pool again. So that was working for her.
The only thing I missed here from what you told me for the pre-trip is you were going to do the Zootopia thing for the first time. So how'd you like it?
I did like it. I think it is definitely an upgrade from A Bug's Life, particularly because A Bug's Life was a little bit dark. I mean, I think maybe one of the first times I traumatized Esme as a kid was to bring her on A Bug's Life. It was her and my nephew, and it was already raining at the park, and it was kind of like, well, let's go in here, we can watch the show and get dry, and they were already miserable because they were wet. They were probably like, my nephew was probably 5 and Esme was probably 4, and they lost it. We had to like take them out of A Bug's Life, but I liked it. I thought it was cute. Is it something I would have to do every single time I went? Not necessarily, but I thought it was a cute show.
Any screaming children?
No screaming children.
Okay. All right. That's good.
That's right. You had screaming children, right? No?
No, I still haven't done it yet.
Oh, you haven't done it. That's right. No. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing scary in it, really.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's still
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, it's still the 4D experience, so I think
Mm-hmm.
it's still you still have those little jump moments, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as dark
Yeah,
as
I
a
have
Bug's
watched
Life.
the new Zootopia movie, which it took me a long time to get around to that, but I've now seen it. So when I go do the experience, I feel I will have some context for what I'm seeing.
Did you like the new Zootopia movie?
I
I liked
did.
it.
Yeah, I did. I like the first one too. I like Judy Hopps. I will tell you what is a little weird to me in the second one is only because between the first and the second, I listened to lots of podcasts, but I started listening to Smartless in those years in between. And so now when I see Nick, all I hear is Jason Bateman's voice.
Jason Basement. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And before, like that was Nick the character, and now I'm like, no, that's a podcaster's voice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
All right. Tuesday, May the 19th. This was your Epcot Flower and Garden extravaganza where you got your Orange Bird shirt.
Yes, I
So
did.
tell me all about this day.
This was definitely my favorite day. Epcot is my favorite park, and I love Flower and Garden. So
Mm-hmm.
this was, in my opinion, like the epic day of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, we started out with a rope drop of Test Track, which we were able to kind of go on twice before the park fully opened. And
Oh, wow.
have you been on Test Track since the update? I liked
I
the
have.
update. I thought it was
I liked
good.
it a lot. Yeah, Alex has not yet. So I'm looking forward to him doing that in July and finding out what he thinks about it. But I thought it was great. I mean, I personally didn't really care for the building your own car experience anyway. So I'm not missing anything by losing that.
Well, and I'll tell you, Esme really liked the build your own car part. And
Mm-hmm.
so before we went on it, she was like, I don't think I'm going to like this anymore. They kind of ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got off and she was like, that was amazing. And
Yeah.
she's like, can we go on again? And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Before the line starts, let's go again. So I really liked it. It was good.
Good. Okay.
So after rope drop, we headed over to I actually think we went to a gift shop, and then
Mm-hmm.
Esme needed to get into the Starbucks line because
Mm.
there was some, non-caffeinated drink that she absolutely needed to have. But you
Mm-hmm.
know what the Starbucks line is like in like
Yeah.
the beginning of the day. So I was kind of like, really? This is, we bought multi-pass to be able to get on attractions fast, and now we're going to spend 40 minutes in a Starbucks line.
Do you know how much
So
money they could make if they made some of your choices Fast Pass or Lightning Lane for Starbucks or for Joffrey's?
it's not a bad idea. You should write that in.
I don't want to do it in place of a ride, but could they have, I mean, $10. Come on. I'll pay $10 to do that, and it could only be good for a certain portion of the day. That's fine. That's fine.
Right, you get your expedited coffee.
Right. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, so we spent a decent amount of time over there while they were in that line. And then I'm sure you've seen this before, all the pin traders are
Oh,
outside.
yes.
And so that was pretty cool because while Esme and Colby were in the line, I was kind of just wandering outside talking to some of the pin traders.
Uh-huh.
And it's they're there for people that don't know. They're there pretty much every single morning, Monday to Friday,
Hmm.
and they sit in the same place and they're just trading their pins.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how many pins some of these people have. Like they have binders and binders
Hmm.
of pins and they know what each of them are. They know what the value is. So if you try to trade them something, they're like, no, I can't for this one. You have to like I need two for the value of this one and they will sort of wheel and deal. I had never pin traded until we took my nephews to the park and I just thought it would be something fun for like them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, we tend to buy a pin every trip, kind of just as like our own souvenir, but like I don't know a lot about pins. And I thought it was pretty neat. One of the women was talking to me about like the hidden Mickey series of pins where like
Mm-hmm.
within the pin there's a little Mickey, and I like looking for hidden Mickeys, so I thought that was really neat. So I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta look more into this hidden Mickey pins. That's fun.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we headed over and we did Moana, The Journey with Water, which
Mm-hmm.
I, I just think that is such a beautiful attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I actually paid a lot more attention to all the stuff that was carved in the stone.
Hmm. Yeah.
You can find Hey and Pua and Maui's Hook, and there's
Yeah.
just all kinds of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple really good hidden Mickeys in there as well.
Okay.
So we were able to kind of find those and take some pictures of the hidden Mickeys. We went in with a mission to find those hidden Mickeys.
Love that. Yeah, it's beautiful in there, and I'm so happy that it's there and it's an option for people to have something to do that they don't have to wait in line for, that you can just go and do it whenever you want. Maybe, if it's hot out, get yourself a little relief in the form of water. But it's so pretty.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to go at night this time. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful at night as well, but it's such a nice place to walk through.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
agreed.
it's kind of become one of my favorite places in Epcot. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just a nice time, and we got to meet Moana. Outside there was like a little photo shoot right outside,
Fun.
and Moana was there, so that was nice too. Let's see. Then we did go over to Nemo, and this was
Mm-hmm.
probably the downside of our day. We got on our little clamshell and we were kind of just like, yeah, we'll do this. We'll kind of go through and walk through the aquarium a little bit. Our
Mm-hmm.
clamshell got stuck for probably like 15 minutes, right? Not, I mean, obviously all of them were stuck for like
Right.
15 minutes. So, you know what it's like when you're on one of those rides and it's like the same loop over and
Yes.
over again for like 15 minutes. I was like, please get me off this. I
Uh-huh.
was like, I get it. You're looking for Nemo. Like, we'll find him. Like, let's move this along. So we did that, and then we went over and did Living with the Land, which of course is
Mm-hmm.
another fun classic.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. Esme went over to Seasons and got her chicken drumstick with mashed potatoes, which is her favorite meal at Disney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this chicken drumstick, mashed potatoes, like she loves
Mm-hmm.
it. And frequently tells me that my mashed potatoes are not as good as the ones
Oh.
there. And the
Mm-hmm.
ones there are probably like instant potatoes. So
Right.
so I'm like slightly insulted, but that's fine.
Uh-huh. Well, she's a kid. Take her opinion on mashed potatoes with a grain of salt.
Yes, exactly. After that, we were going to do oh my goodness, why am I having a brain moment? We went over to the front of the park.
Spaceship
And
Earth?
thank you. I was like, the big ball. That's what I was like. Yeah. I don't know why they love Spaceship Earth, and it was down. So we had
Mm.
a multi-pass, and it was down at that time. So they gave us a, like, come back later kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And but while we were over there, Esme had never done the passport. Did Alex ever do that? The passport
For
when you go
Kid
around?
Cot?
Yeah, it's not just KidCot. Yes, you have to go to KidCot, but it's like
Uh-huh.
you actually get them to like do the stickers and like sign your passport.
Yeah, and it came back when Alex did it. It came in a little Ziploc branded bag
Yes.
that had a little suitcase on the side of it. It was cute.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Yeah, so Esme knew that Colby and I wanted to kind of like sample some different foods and like walk around, and
Mm-hmm.
so the passport ended up being a fun way to like have her actually enjoy that with us.
Right. Yeah.
And I think she's at an age where when she goes and talks to the folks, right, because you go in every country and the people that are doing it are from that country.
Right.
Like, she was actually chatting and asking
Mm-hmm.
questions, and so that was fun too.
Have you ever tried the DuckTales Adventures with her?
I have not, although I
I
know it exists, but I have not done it.
I would recommend that next time you go. It's a lot of
Okay.
fun. Yeah, especially I would say of all the ones I've tried, my favorite was the one in the UK.
Okay, all right, we'll have to check that out.
Hmm. All right, where did you head next?
So we spent a decent amount of time now just kind of walking the countries and trying food.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. We did the I'm not going to remember everything we ate, but we did like the trio of dips, which was good. In Canada, I did kind of like the beef and potatoes.
Yes.
I think the thing that we ate that Colby and I both loved was the croissant that was over in France that was filled with kind of goat cheese.
Yes.
And I think you told me you're not a goat cheese person,
Ugh,
right?
no, I always say if you spend any time around goats, you wouldn't like it either, because there was a goat farm in my county where I grew up. So I like to make it sound like I hung out with goats all the time as a kid. But it just, the way that a goat smells is the way that goat cheese tastes to me. So
fascinating. Okay, yeah. I'll try not to think about that the next time I eat goat cheese. No, that's all right. The croissant though was really good. Colby and I were fans, and
yeah.
While we were over there, we also did ratatouille, which was fun too.
Yeah,
and I love they've got a good photo shoot back there, the magic shot with like Remy running away. So that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did we ate a bunch of different things, but I'll give you some of the highlights. Esme definitely ate the fruit that was on the stick coated in the sugar. She loved that.
Okay.
She was a big fan of that. Me, not so much. It was like too much sugar glaze for me, but Esme really liked it. Colby and I did the crab rangoons. Those were fine. I'm trying to think. I think we did a potato pancake somewhere. Maybe over by Germany. That was fine. But we tried a few different things. So again, no sit down restaurants, just like kind of snacked along the way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I would say my favorite thing from Flower and Garden this year was the blackened fish sandwich that had the fried green tomato on it.
Yes. So Colby was hoping to get that, and then it just did not work in like our timing. And as we were leaving, I said, "Do you want to loop back around and go grab that?" And she was like, "Nah, I'm all set." So we were also, as we were wrapping up the countries, we also knew we were on our way to Cosmic Rewind. So, you get to a point where you're like, how much should I eat before I get on Cosmic Rewind, right? Like, Cosmic Rewind has never made me feel bad, but I'm also aware that you're moving around a lot. So like, let's not tempt fate.
You're also aware that every time you go, you've gotten a little bit older. And I don't know about you, but I notice how I feel a little bit different on things as time goes on.
Yeah. So after we did Cosmic, well, all right. So let's start with Cosmic Rewind. So we had a lightning lane for Cosmic Rewind. So we got on pretty quickly. I think the cool thing about Cosmic Rewind is we've ridden it 5 times and we've had a different song every time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this time we had September.
Okay.
Not my favorite of all the songs so far, but it was, so the only one we have not gotten now is Disco Inferno.
How would you rank the 5 that you have gotten?
So I think Conga is probably my favorite, and maybe because it was my first as well. Like that was the first time we rode, but I like that one, and I'm trying to think. The other ones are all kind of even for me. I like Iran. I think, did you say you don't like, somebody was recently telling me they don't like Iran.
I used to not like it, and it's because I really wasn't familiar with it. So it did not have an emotional thing for me. And so I'd be like, ugh, it's my least favorite. But over the past year, probably, I have decided I like it now. And I think it's because I purely associate it with that ride.
Okay.
So it's no longer in my last place for me.
What is your favorite?
My favorite is Everybody Wants to Rule the World, just because it's our favorite family song for Alex.
Okay.
Lots of emotional ties to that one. And then I would say One Way or Another.
That's a good one too. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then probably Iran. Iran might be in 3rd place now.
Okay. Yeah, I have no desire to get Disco Inferno. Like, it's not like it's a terrible song, but like, I don't need to get that one.
You know what? I really like that one because the first time I got it, I told this story in the podcast a long time ago, but I was seated with a kid who must have been, he was maybe 10 to 12 years old at the most. He knew every single word to that song, and he was amazing. Into it that I got into it. Just watching him enjoy that song, I was just like, this is so much fun.
Yeah, so. Contagious, right? Contagious joy. So that's cool. Yeah, so we went on that, and I am just going to say I do agree that as I get older, I can't, just go on things one right after another. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we got off. Esme was like, I want to do Mission Space Orange. Mission Space Orange, and I said to her, I said, I can't do it. Like, I can't go on Cosmic Rewind and then go on Mission Space Orange. I just can't. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, I will either go on green with you, or we will walk you all the way
Mm-hmm.
to orange, and you can ride by yourself, and then we'll meet you
Mm-hmm.
when you get off. And that's what she wanted to do. So she went
Okay.
on. She went on by herself. We kind of walked through the line with her. They actually let us watch the pre-show with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the pre-show was over, we left, and
Mm-hmm.
she boarded.
Were
So
there other people in her car with her?
yeah, I think it was like another family.
Okay.
So she
Okay.
kind of rounded out a family. So that was fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we've ridden that before where I want to say like Alex and I rode green together at one point, and it was just like the pressure of like feeling like I needed to hit the other buttons for this people who weren't there, like leaning
You're
over.
like, come on,
I was like,
come on.
I was like, I do not do well under these high pressure button pushing situations. So
But at
it's
least in
not for
that
me.
one, nothing matters, right? Like, I mean,
Right, right,
that one's all for show, but this is no Millennium Falcon, right?
right.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
but
goodness.
I've done Mission Space Orange. I actually enjoy Mission Space Orange, but
Really?
I may have grown out of it. Like, I can't see myself getting on it again.
Yeah,
But maybe I will. I don't know.
I think I've only done orange once. Yeah, I don't think I've done it more than once, and
I
I don't
did
feel
it.
like I need to do it again.
Yeah, the last time I went on it was maybe 2 years ago. We went
Mhm.
during Christmas, and one of my friends from high school was with us too. And
Mhm.
Esme was like, I want to do orange. I want to do orange. So my friend Kate and I went on orange with her. And you're
Mhm.
like in the lines, and I'd been on it before. Kate had never been on it. And you're in the lines, and they're like over and over again, basically telling you
Yeah.
all the reasons you should not ride it. And so, like, they're like, if you're pregnant, if you've, ever had a splinter, please don't get on this ride. And you're like, should I be doing this? Like, this sounds terrible. So
You know it's bad when they have barf bags. So that's all I'm
yeah,
saying. Yeah,
yeah.
if
So
I never do either orange or green again in my life, I will be fine. Every couple years, Alex convinces me to at least do green.
yeah. So okay, well, that was kind of our last attraction. Oh no, we went over to Spaceship Earth, and we
And
were able
finally
to
checked out your lightning lane. Yeah.
we
Okay.
we so we ended on Spaceship Earth. I will say that when we were there, Soren was doing an opening of the new show,
Mm-hmm.
but for annual pass holders, which we are not annual pass holders. But
Okay.
but it was kind of fun to be over there and see them all like really excited. And there was this
Mm-hmm.
one guy that had made his own hat, and his hat was the World Showcase.
Oh,
And
interesting.
do you sell these on Etsy? He's like, no, they're way too time intensive. He's like,
So
this is just for me.
I'm guessing by the way that you just gestured that it was
Oh
like a
yeah,
hat with a brim all the way around and there was stuff on the brim,
yeah. It was almost like so all the
like a straw
countries like
hat.
yeah. Think of it wasn't a straw hat. You couldn't really see the hat underneath it. But
Mm-hmm.
picture you're looking at the guy, and picture like the center of his head being like the water in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had like a styrofoam cutout, which was like intricately cut out and painted of every pavilion
Oh my
around his
God.
head. Yeah, it was amazing. I should have taken a picture of him, but I was talking to him and I was like, "Oh, do you sell these on Etsy?" And he was like, "No, it takes too long." He's like, "These are just for me." I was like,
I mean,
"Okay."
fair enough, but
I know,
oh,
but
that's
he
really
he
cool.
looked phenomenal. Like, you had to like go up to him and just be like, "I love your hat." And then this also makes me think, when I was in Hollywood Studios, cast members were getting a soft opening to the Muppets, the Rock and Roller Coaster Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to figure out how we could sneak in, but we knew that wasn't really happening. So, we were kind of like a week away from some of these like bigger openings. So, um,
Just did a Google search just so like on the off chance this person with their amazing hat would pop up, but no such luck.
nothing, no
No.
World Showcase hat.
No, lots of other cute hats, but not anything like that.
I mean, it was pretty neat. I was impressed by this guy. So if you're listening, sir, with the hat, I'm impressed by you.
I hope he's listening. All right, Wednesday, May the 20th. This was your departure day, but you had some interesting things to do before you took off. And first up was horseback riding.
I know. I almost forgot. Yes, we went over to the Tri-Circle D Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
I assume D stands for Disney. Mm-hmm. And we did this trail riding thing, which was really neat. So the whole experience takes about an hour. You get there and they kind of give you like a little orientation to it. You know, they talk to you about like your helmets and all this stuff. They have lockers that you can lock your stuff in because you can't bring anything onto the horse, which obviously makes sense. And then once they get you up on, basically they get you up on the horse. There's like a platform, which, by the way, thank goodness, because like I was not going to be able to like catapult myself on top of a horse. So basically there's this platform.
Although wouldn't that have been fun to watch?
I mean, yes, sure. But it would have been fun for somebody to watch. But the horse kind of walks up to this platform and you get on from the platform. And I think I was the first person on a horse. And so like I had to sit on my horse for a long time while everyone else got loaded onto their horse. And then they take you out on these trails and it's about, I would say like 35 to 40 minutes kind of just like riding the horse through these trails. And they have a guide in the front and a guide in the back and a guide in the middle. And you just kind of in this long line of horses.
Are the trails
off you go.
Among the trees? Are you going down by the lake? Like, what are you riding past?
It's definitely through the trees. You do get to see some of the cabins in Fort Wilderness. So, like, I guess if you've been in certain cabins, you've probably seen the horses go by because we could see the cabins. But mostly, we were just out in the trees. There were a couple of places where we had to cross roads, and the first guide would stop and make sure there were no cars coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we didn't see water or anything like that. We did see a little baby deer, which freaked out my horse. I mean, nothing bad happened, but my horse was like, again, just mimicked pulling up on the reins of said horse. But it was fine. If you're gonna ride horses and you're intimidated to ride horses, as you can imagine, the Disney horses are well trained and tame. And I actually was the first horse in line. So in front of me was the guide. So I got to talk to the guide for a while during our ride. And, she was telling me the differences about like the horses that are over here that do the trail riding versus the horses that are more by Hoop-de-Doo Review. And those are the horses that like go out into the parks and pull carriages or other things out in the parks. And just like other employees, the horses have days they work and then days off, and so they have enough horses so it's not the same horses all the time on the trail rides. Like they'll have a day where like a horse, like maybe 2 days in a row where a horse works and then the horse gets days off and comes back and trail rides. So I thought that was fascinating.
Any PhotoPass photographers to capture any of this horseback riding?
No, there were not. And I think I'm sure that people do this all day long, but that felt like a missed opportunity to me because you can't really bring your phone on the horse.
Right.
So we did snap a couple of pictures like at the ranch, and I think we did get a picture of Esme's horse. But no, not a lot of good photos because you've got to like pay attention to your horse and hold the reins and all that stuff. So they don't want people to have phones out.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next up, I have written down that you were going to go and do some Spanish mosaics.
And then you said, Kelly, that sounds really ambitious and you should probably not do that.
Now I recall myself saying that.
Yeah. And then I said, you know what? Virginia's right. Like like I've been to Disney enough to know that you don't over program your resort days. So we did not do that. We went back to the resort, had some lunch, and then spent the afternoon by the pool. At this point, we were already checked out of our room. But, we had backpacks with us with bathing suits. And so we spent the day by the pool. And then before we went to the airport, we changed into kind of like our airplane clothes and off we went.
Mm-hmm. What a great little trip. I love it.
Yeah, it was a great trip. And as I said in the last one, it was nice to just be the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
I love traveling with friends and family. And we're going to get to do that this summer through some other trips, but it was nice to just have a few days of just us.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's special in its own way as well.
And is your next trip up your big cruise?
So the next trip up is a Caribbean cruise out of New York City. So, you can wave to me.
I will.
We're leaving on the 23rd, and we'll be gone for 8 nights. And then in mid-July is the Rome / big trip with 41 people, all headed out. And then my next Disney trip is we will be on the Disney Magic for Christmas. So that's pretty nice. We're going to be December 22nd to 27th.
Oh, so, amazing.
So we've never been away from home for Christmas besides at my parents' or Colby's mom's house. So this will be fun.
Is Esme okay with being away from home on Christmas morning?
I think she is. I think, she's now at the age where that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think when we were younger, no, she would not have liked that. I mean, like we've talked about, she loves her souvenirs. She's already talking about oh, well, I wonder if the fish extenders are special for Christmas. And so she's already trying to figure out how to work this. She's ready to work the system here.
Yeah.
So anybody else sailing on that, we're ready to sign up for our fish extenders.
Do you think you'll put up a Christmas tree if you're going to be away for Christmas?
Oh. So I think we will, because Colby puts up not one, but 2 Christmas trees.
Oh, wow.
And it often ends up the week before Thanksgiving. So go ahead and be controversial, have controversial debates about that. But Colby feels like if you're going to put it up, it needs to be up for a long enough amount of time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I feel like I like to wait until after Thanksgiving, but
I mean, most normal human beings do wait till after Thanksgiving, but Colby, but I will say Colby does a lot of the decorating, and it does make sense. It's a lot of work, and we typically aren't home for Thanksgiving. We go to her mom's. When she comes home, she just wants it done
there.
She wants that transition to have happened.
And you want to enjoy it as long as possible. I feel like it's such work to get it all put up and all the boxes put away and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So Virginia, when's your next trip?
We leave on July 3rd, and we will be back on July 13th. So
okay, and this is Disney World?
It starts out with Universal, actually. So
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
We may have even talked about this in the pre-show. But
I have no idea. That was so long ago.
Yes, the pre-show was a while ago. So, and actually, this Disney trip was a couple of weeks ago. So I had to dig deep and be like, what did I do in mid-May when I went to Disney?
I know it all starts to blend together. Yeah, we're doing Universal, and then we head over to Disney for the big Disney portion of our trip.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Yeah. And this is your first time at Epic Universe?
Yes, it will be my first time at Epic, and it's my first time at Universal in 5 years, I think.
Okay. And are you doing your own show about your trip?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm interested to hear your take on Epic Universe, because we don't have a trip planned yet, but I mean, we haven't been since Epic Universe. And I keep hearing people say that it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I did spring for the Epic Express Pass for the day, just because I was like, I don't foresee myself dedicating more than one day to Epic, just because I really like a lot of the things that are in the other 2 parks, and I haven't gotten to do them in a long time. So I figured I want to just jam pack as much Epic into one day as I can, and that way I can allow my other 2 days to be all the other stuff I like.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, have fun. That's great. I look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah. Well, this has been a pleasure, as always, Kelly. Had so much fun talking with you. I'm sure you will be back at some point.
Okay. And to all my Disney fans out there, I apologize for forgetting Spaceship Earth, but this is what happens as you get older.
It really is.
Things that are totally ingrained in your memory, your brain just goes blank on you.
Yep.
And I did just have a birthday, so like I'm getting older.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I'm getting older every day
and wiser, right?
Wiser. Well, wiser until I can't remember names of favorite attractions.
That's temporary, though. It would have come back to you.
It would have.
Yes.
It's all the pressure, Virginia. You're so intimidating.
I know.
Just kidding. You're actually not intimidating at all. You're like the easiest person to talk to.
You are very easy to talk to, too. And I always do have fun talking to you. So have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you next time that you come on the podcast.
All right. Take care.
Thank you again to Kelly for always being willing to be on the show, for being a part of the Where I Long to Be podcast family. I hope at some point that Colby and Esme will come on the show. I would be so interested to interview you all together if I could. So just putting it out there, no pressure. No pressure, Colby. No pressure, Esme. But if you're into it, come on the show next time. That is all I have for today. Of course, like I said at the beginning, I am currently down in Orlando enjoying my vacation. And this is me prepping and trying to get everything I need to get done before I need to pack up and head out the door. So I'm just going to keep this short and sweet, say how much I appreciate all of you for tuning in, for listening to the show, for your support. And I hope you will keep coming back. And if you've not been on the show before, I hope that you will consider being a part of the gang, submit your trip. I always love to hear from listeners. You can leave me a message on my website, which is whereilongtobepodcast.com. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see a floating button that says send Virginia a voice message. You can leave me anything there, a hot take, a question, a tip about vacations that you want me to know about, whatever you'd like. All you have to know is that if you do leave me a message there, you might end up on the show. So that is all I have for today. I hope everyone has a magical week. Don't forget, next week is an off week, so no episode next Monday. But until next time, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.